Good things come to those who wait, and your patience is finally
me has pegado una fumada aquí gorda,
Get
de la
ready,
cuenta
because
atrás.
the 2022 PC Gaming Show
¿Qué
kicks
pasa,
off
chavales? Ya
in
estamos otra
just
vez por aquí,
a
me
few
budeo.
moments.
Hola,
We've got
Jome, ¿cómo
dozens
estás,
of
guapo?
games, trailers,
¿qué tal?
exclusive interviews,
Bueno,
and
esta
means
conferencia
there's
no
only one
pensábamos
thing
en
left to
ella,
do.
pero sí que
Countdown
estaba.
time.
Y aquí
I'll
estamos
see
para
you
darle un
in a
poquito de calorcillo, caballero. Espera, que me quito de la cámara. Así que, señores, en 30 segundos vamos a empezar esta conferencia de PC, donde sí que han comentado los de Stone Gaming que van a presentar alguna cosita, con lo cual podemos ver algo nuevo de ese RTS, de los desarrolladores de StarCraft y Warcraft. Ya ve que más presentan, Juve. A lo mejor aquí te llevas alguna sorpresa, nunca se sabe.
Bueno, en teoría van a mostrar entre 30 y 40 juegos, así que va a haber cositas.
Arma 4, cuidado,
El 4 ya.
El 4 ya. Bueno, señores, esto va a empezar. Estamos hoy con... Vamos, a fuego,
Bueno, el 9-3.
Sí, exactamente, el 9-3, que aquí cada uno está haciendo sus respectivas presentaciones. Creo que van a presentar el primer juego, con lo cual lo vamos a ir a pantalla grande. Bueno, el momento está aquí. Hostia, vaya pedazo de PC, bro. Yo quiero eso, Mira qué bicho, tú, Espera, voy a poner la pantalla grande y todo. Me voy a fumar yo, Telica la pantallica el pibe, ¿eh? Por cierto, han comentado mucho el tema de que por qué han lanzado la retransmisión de 720 lo de Xbox, que también es verdad. Me he visto lo del Forza, poca broma, 1080, ¿eh? Poca broma, ¿eh?
Hostia, yo se me ha olvidado. Me he ido a cenar y no he visto nada 4K, pero luego lo miro.
Ha sido una locura, ¿eh? Ha sido una locura, ¿eh?
También quiero ver la Playtale.
Sí, no, es que no sé por qué estaba siendo súper criticada por eso, justamente. O sea, no por el contenido, sino por el hecho de que mala calidad la retransmisión, coño.
Vaya mesita, con la Steam Deck, ese ordenador.
No veas, tío. Van volando, ¡Hola, chica guapetona!
But I played Cyberpunk 2077 and he's not.
Ooh, that's pretty dark for the start of the show.
Or nostalgic.
Aww.
But none of that matters because the show actually took place in a parallel reality.
Alright, so you're telling me there's actually a multiverse?
According to
Yo confío en que haya 3-4 juegos que destaquen en esta
I am saying there's a
conferencia.
multiverse.
Alright.
We're now apparently on Earth 3.
Porque esta conferencia suele ser muy de charlas, ¿eh?
This show is still happening.
A lo mejor lo cambien este año.
No sé.
Los de Freya, a ver, lo he puesto justamente el título stream que se me había olvidado. Pero vamos con ello. Un PC gaming, eso no es un PC gaming, guapa. Eso es un PC de la, vamos, de la NASA. Bueno, pero el juego, vamos a subirlo un poquito.
Se confía que hoy vuelva a ser Stormgate.
Sí. Joder, hoy en día hay unos graficazos, tío.
Transcendence, a chimera chooses death. Show us what you got.
Literal, literal.
We have a whole new world to forge.
May the judge have mercy on your souls.
As long as we are together, we're not going down. They wanted yet another monster. They shall have one.
Hostis.
Buena pinta tiene este juego,
Está cerca.
Empezamos fuertes,
Solo Next Gen. Guay, guay.
Es que yo creo que hoy en día ya sabe qué decir.
Bueno, hay muchos todavía, Yo creo que 2003 ya será el año definitivo de...
Mi pregunta es, si es para la serie X, ¿te vale para la serie S también?
Debería, sí. Va junto, es un conjunto.
Sí, vale, private. Fuera coña estos juegos, no sé por qué, pero me gustan muchísimo, tío. Los veo tan coñas, tío, que los juegan en plan risas con los colegas, tío.
Sí, con colegas está guay.
Sí, tío. 4K es 2K. Ah, vale, vale. No, que va a caer al final la puta Xbox. Con los juegos que están saliendo.
¿Cómo que 4K es 2K?
Bueno, que esa es el... ¿Cómo se llama? 4K, pero que no es... El nativo creo que es, ¿no? ¿Cómo se llama? Que no es del todo.
No entiendo.
Yo creo que primate para este veranico puede ser que caiga, Ahora que se me vienen gastos altos, ¿no? Pero...
¿Cuál?
La Xbox.
No sé. Siempre está en stock, ¿no? Eso es lo bueno, no es como las otras.
Claro, y luego como hablarlo del cosplay, ¿sabes? Seguramente va a ser tontería PS5 o la otra. Total, tampoco tengo una pantalla 4K, o sea que tampoco puedo disfrutar la PS5 al máximo. Tú sí que puedes, cabrón.
Ya. Para mí lo mejor es la Play 5 digital, pero claro, es que nunca está en stock. Es imposible comprarla.
Claro.
Yo no entiendo por qué no han sacado una serie de X digital pero bueno, todo está con disco.
Bueno, también como dice mi primo, llegará un día que todo está en la nube. Con lo cual, el día de mañana ni las consolas, ni PC, ni pollas, ¿sabes?
Ya, pero queda mucho, porque entre
Bueno,
el delay y lo
Claro,
borroso
claro,
que se-
pero a lo mejor, yo que sé, 10 años ponle, tal cual estamos.
Mira, Kojima, el juego que está en la nube. No es-
Por eso.
Pero vamos.
Este sí que es el videojuego que no voy a jugar en mi vida.
Me he fijado.
Ya.
You just saw Tactical Breach Wizards,
Vaya
a
PC,
turn-based game of sorcery and SWAT team strategy from the makers of Gunpoint and Heat Signature. My strategy, personally, is very simple. Breach, bang, clear, magic missile, dramatic flourish, abra, cadaver. Get it? Cadaver, dead body.
¿Qué era un
Next,
chiste
we
o
have
qué?
a solution to the age-old problem
Sí,
of
daba
not having
abra
time to
cadabra,
read
no
and
sé.
play video
No lo he
games.
entendido.
Just do
Todo
both
mal.
at the same time, obviously. Star Wars Industries has you covered with their sci-fi thriller inspired by Stanislaw Lem's novel, The Invincible. So here's your first look at the first ever gameplay footage.
Y empezamos con los rótulos.
You. What have you done?
¿Qué es esto?
Where are you taking me?
Se ha puesto de moda lo del espacio que te cagas,
So what are you
tío.
expecting, huh?
You've
Sí,
set up a
la verdad
field
que
camp
es
down
increíble.
there. So I didn't expect you to have a second one here.
Sit here and don't you dare move. What are you doing here?
Qué bueno el detalle al lado izquierdo con el micrófono ahí,
Ah, lo de la izquierda.
Sí. Como estáis viendo desde los ojos del casco.
The radiation
tira
level is
loco,
growing rapidly. It's starting to get interesting.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that, Doctor.
I located the mobile antimatter cannon.
Another one? How many of those did they... Is it active?
Dead.
I admire your composure.
Wait, someone's here. Astrogator, they're dead.
So you found someone. Unfortunately, such unpleasant discoveries are indispensable to the mission.
I didn't let that thought get to me. I was counting on this meeting very much. At worst, it could have been another abandoned place, but not this.
But what exactly?
That's a good question.
Sí, sí, está viendo la gente
getting into the
opinando
recorder.
de la conferencia de Xbox y no está viendo ni el gameplay. ¿Está teniendo buena pinta o qué?
Sí, tío.
What do we have here? Uh-huh. They made their way through. With a beam
Mira, lo
of
de
antimatter.
Starfield son 100 sistemas solares y 1000 planetas.
Message?
Se les ha ido, ¿eh?
Ya te digo, tío. Lo que te digo, tiene que pensar eso,
I'm looking at
600
it
gigas
now.
el juego.
They pierce to hold several meters in diameter and several dozen meters long.
Yasna, do you hear me?
Yes. My head feels like it's bursting from pressure.
Can you continue?
Yes. I'm better now. Actually, there's nothing here that I haven't seen before. There are a lot of metal bushes that were near our camp. The lower parts of the bushes are, how to put it, fruitless.
So they came to pick the fruits.
This robot looks like it has started its task and got stuck.
What task?
This is one of the robots carrying containers with research material. It took the container, but never left that place.
Why do you think it's stuck?
Well, it goes in circles using the same path.
Siendo raro, ¿eh?
Sí,
The
tío.
robot's gone,
¿Cómo está mucho más? No está mucha cosa.
but I didn't.
Well, he must have done something. Never mind. Follow it.
¿Eso no era la nave?
¿Dónde estaba muerto el doctor?
Fuck! It's getting up.
Pero sí, ahora está en movimiento.
No! Antimat!
Come on, Yasna. Run. Hide. Yasna, are you alive?
Yes,
Wow.
it's fucked up the robot.
Le deja las piernas solo al robot.
Invencible se llama el juego.
Venga.
Take care of our people, Novik.
¿Qué?
Ya está ahí, tío. Hostia, pues pinta bien esto, tío.
It's time to take a
Cool.
pit stop.
Creo que lo he adelantado, ¿no?
Dungeon.
Un
to
poquito,
prove
creo.
that chivalry isn't dead. And if you think I emphasize those words,
Qué espectáculo de
weirdly,
gráfico,
you're right.
nene, de
And
locos,
it'll all
tío.
make sense momentarily when you see these next 4 games, especially when you hear from our friends at Tripwire Interactive. Roll that beautiful footage.
You? Nah. You don't have what it takes.
¿Esto es un juego de Sega?
You'll be back here too scared to try again. Cause the dungeon will turn you into lunch meat. Unless you're way tougher than you look. We got the guns, the turrets, the upgrades.
Ah, este juego ya
But what
me
you
echaba bastante
really
tiempo.
need is guts and skills. Grab your posse and say your prayers. Be the first to play. To die. To give your feedback. Do you have what it takes?
¿Tú ya has visto el logo?
¿Sí he visto?
¿Por dónde vas?
Aquí justamente el logo ahora.
Se viene C1, ¿eh? Dime cuando veas el F1.
Ya. Este es el manager, ¿no?
Sí, sale 2 meses más tarde que el F1.
Tiene buena pinta el manager, es que también te lo digo,
Sí, lo que yo paso, ¿eh?
Sí, no, yo tampoco, pero tiene pinta de estar guapo realmente.
Sí, si te gusta el rollo, seguro que está guay.
Sí. Como si
Parece
fuese
muy-
el jefe de la escudería, tiene que estar guapo.
Y las opciones parecen muy profundas.
Choose your
sí.
team and drive every
Y no se ve mal el
decision
juego,
leads to you
No, no, se ve
making
muy
your
bien.
mark on the grid and hopefully the podium. Winning championships depends
¿Veremos
on
algo del
your
nuevo Fórmula
ability
1?
to make the
Ah,
right
aparte.
calls on and off the
Hoy.
track.
No creo.
During races, you'll
No.
mastermind strategy, plan tyre stints for each driver, and make changes on the fly when
No
necessary.
veo.
Issue driver callouts, such as instructing them to attack or defend, manage their
Lo bueno,
time
han sacado una cosa de aquí que mola mucho. Que cuando das órdenes de equipo se te quejan los pilotos y todo, tío.
Hostia.
Sí, sí, se te quejan o te desobedecen, te dicen que no se dejan adelantar.
Pero van a mostrar a Sainz retirándose.
Oh, te gusta.
No lo dije ayer, spoiler, Sainz la lía.
Yo hoy lo decía también ahí en el fútbol, digo, Sainz la caga.
Optimize your finances to keep the board happy, improve and maintain your facilities.
Hostia. ¿Hay pilotos de Fedor o qué?
Sí, puedes subirlos.
Esto ya es más que el F1, ¿no? O sea, el F1 de Codemasters. La edad, el ritmo, como si fuese una tarjeta, una carta de pista.
Ojo, mira, el setup.
Sí, de más velocidad en curva, de aero. Hostia, hay temperatura, la hora exacta, el viento. Esto no tiene el F1 de Codemasters. Mira cuánta información. Es más simulador que el de Codemasters,
Sleek management menus and
Claro.
controls will drive the immersive F1 fantasy home as you plan and execute the perfect strategy in
Porque esto tiene más,
2022.
se ha mostrado mejor que el F1
Pre-order
Codemasters
the digital
entero.
version now for early access from August 25th.
Muy guapo, tío. Ah, Fórmula 3 y todo.
Madre mía.
Hostia, tío.
Por favor.
Tiene más licencias el manager que el original, tío.
Tío, es un juego nuevo. F1 lleva haciendo el Codemasters 10 años y no tiene la mitad. Qué triste. Yo juego a veces este juego, está guay para echarle una tarde. El Chival 2.
Sí, hombre, este está muy guapo.
Como el For Honor.
Sí, parecido.
This rebellion is at an end. The Agathians flee to their stronghold.
Joder. Venga. ¡Toma!
Sí, sí, es
Now
muy bueno.
Kenosha rises from the south.
Qué guapo, tío.
Throw the dogs back into the desert.
Toma.
Their forces will crash and break against the bulwark.
Toma, como un pincho boludo, tú.
If the wall
Este juego salió hace un año exacto.
we
No me
must
acuerdo jugar a y está guay. Yo creo que el Margore ahora.
ready the ships. Long has Kenosha remained safe from my
Anubis.
fury. No more.
Pero el caballo es nuevo, creo,
They dare to strike
¡Hala!
at us.
Toma.
Their city will fall. Their people will bleed. Their knowledge
Que es el tipo de juego que me gusta, pero para echarle 2 días tampoco.
Sí, exactamente.
never end.
Está guapo, tío. Bueno, que sale el DLC.
Hi everyone, I'm Phil from Sweet Bandits, live from Quebec City.
Hay una flecha
Really
ahí
glad
chorreando
to be here today for the PC Gaming Show. We'll be showing the first trailer for our game this evening.
Vaya
It's
guapo.
a multiplayer competitive spy game where you get to use social stealth, high-tech gadgets, and powerful spy abilities to try and get the upper hand. We've had the chance of working with Tripwire Presents on the project, so this is only the beginning. Please follow us on social media at Play This Evening to learn more. We'll be releasing the game in early 2023 on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5. Thank you so much, and let's enjoy the trailer.
Good afternoon, agents. Your mission is simple. Infiltrate the frozen coral underwater
Oye, Dani,
hotel
que me he
and
quedado loco.
retrieve
¿Qué te
the
ha hecho, tío?
blueprint of a powerful weapon. As you know, Deceive Inc.'s company policy is to deploy multiple agents to ensure the mission's success. But only one will get the paycheck. Do whatever it takes, agent, and be careful out there.
Try your best. Let's see if it's enough. Booyah! Ka-ching! Oh, come on. They can't be this fast.
Then they thought it was secure. In the end, I am victorious.
They're really not gonna make it easy for me. Gotcha.
Buena, Borja, bueno.
Is that it?
Ah, vale, sí, que te pillaron todos los curros, ¿no? Se te metían en un mismo recuadro y te hace one shot. Eso puedes ir tirando, sí, es una puta mierda de locos. Hubo una época que se puso muy de moda eso. Yo lo que hacía era, con el Terran de pronto le ponía los pilones justo para que no pueda meterse dentro del recuadro. O le cerraba la línea mineral.
No sé, es como un Deathloop indie.
Sí, literal, es como un juego de
Let me
gato
ask
ratón.
you something. Do you ever have a
Madre
recurring
mía, qué
dream that you
periféricos,
really
qué
wish would come
PC.
true? I mean, mine personally
regalan
involves
uno?
a flight of
Madre
unicorns
mía,
and
tío.
a Valkyrie army on
¿Qué tiene que llevar
Pegasus,
ese
but, you know,
bicho,
yours
tío, de
may be
componentes,
different,
tío?
but, you know, somehow I doubt it. This year,
No
we've
sé,
partnered
vaya
with
locura,
PC
tío.
builders
Sí,
at
sí,
iBuyPower to bring a very different dream to life. My dream PC room. Unfortunately, there's bad news for
Madre
me.
mía.
Vaya pedazo de setup,
But
bro.
very good news for one of you. We're going to be giving the entire
El micro
contents
mejorable.
of this room away to
Eso
a
es
lucky
verdad.
winner
Pero
watching
vaya
the show.
setup de
So
locos.
let's dive in and see what's up for grabs. The beating heart of any PC gaming dream room is, of course, the rig. So let's
Primo,
start
no mires
there.
esto, que te vas a
As you
hacer una
can see,
gallola y lo
the
sé.
mad geniuses at iBuyPower have built an absolute doozy.
Mi primo es
The first thing you'll
informático, por
notice
eso
is
lo digo.
that height Y60 case with its wraparound tempered glass panels. This thing
Joder,
is built
¿acaso
from
cuánto
the ground
mide?
up to display the sickest
una locura
PC
esto.
tech you can squeeze into a desktop machine. And let's face it, if you've
Aquí
managed
llevan
to
dos
pack a serious
RTX
graphics card in
3090.
these dry,
Sí.
dry times, you owe it to the silicon gods to show it off properly. Okay, the case and lighting looks dope, but for this to be a true dream PC, we need more than just state-of-the-art drip. Luckily, the substance matches the style. So let's check out the guts of our dream PC, and trust me, there's plenty of power crammed in. The big question, though, is what pixel pusher iBuyPower has used, and you won't be disappointed with an overclocked RTX 3090 from
Madre
Gigabyte,
mía.
right?
Ahí
This
está, la
24 GB
3090.
monster of a GPU packs the
Madre
cooling
mía.
to stay chill and the power to
1100
smash
euros
through
cuesta,
any
¿no?
game you throw at it.
Madre mía, no quiero así.
The graphics card is the rig's MVP, but any superstar needs some dope backup. And the fastest gaming CPU around, the Intel 5.5
Madre mía
GHz
de
Core
vida, pero ¿qué
i9
es esto, tío?
12900KS with
Bueno,
32
la última
GB
Intel,
of
eso debe ser
DDR5
carísimo.
RAM and 2 TB of
que
seriously
esto es
fast
para la
SSD
Nvidia o algo.
storage, both from ADATA, makes up the
¿Cuánto
perfect
cuesta este
sport team.
ordenador? 5.000 euros mínimo.
Ooh, that is a
A los
whole lot
3000
of
se te va.
PC. But Mika,
Yo creo que más,
may greedily wonder, what about
No sé,
the peripherals?
3500
Well,
mínimo,
animal
pongo yo.
lovers, we got you covered.
Ya
'Cause
son las
the
gráficas, son
Eclipse
1000.
wireless headset comes in plush vegan
No, la
leather
gráfica
trim
1500
with a
y
30
encuentra la de
hour
ese
battery
precio.
life and competition grade 2.4 gigahertz connection. And you noisy typers are going to love the clicky clacky mechanical
O sea,
keyboard
el
that
teclado
comes
es
with
una
it.
mierda, no me jodas,
Oh,
nen.
I'm sorry, what was that? RGB? Well,
El
of
tuyo es mejor.
course.
Sí,
The
tanto.
keyboard and mouse both light up like Atlantic City on a Saturday night. And yeah,
Pero
you
tiene
can
el Steam
turn
Deck
it off
ahí,
so you
tío.
can
Eso sí
actually
que me
get
da
some
envidia a mí,
sleep.
tío.
You can find out more about this gear feature today
What?
over at
¿Cómo?
iBuyPower.com,
Ah, vale, es otro PC.
but
Me había
I know
asustado yo. ¿Cómo que
what you
800? No
really
puede ser.
The info
Le
on
decía,
how
no,
to
me lo
win
compro
this
ya,
PC
¿sabes?
setup. So here are the details.
Thanks, Mika. Yes, folks, it couldn't be easier to enter our Dream PC giveaway. For your chance, just head over to pcgamer.com/dreampc and follow the simple
apunto.
instructions. There, you'll find a complete breakdown of the
Poca
prize,
broma,
which, don't worry, also comes with some
Nada que
very
perder.
swish monitors as well as the eligibility
Fuera,
rules.
coña, lo voy a abrir
Good luck,
también,
gamers.
That is right. Just head over to pcgamer.com/dreampc for your chance to win. But for now, let's get back to the games. From Kepler Interactive and A44 Games comes Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, an action RPG from the team behind Ashen, where gods and guns collide.
Vale, chata. Ojo, otro juego. ¿Preparado, Juve?
Vamos allá.
Bueno,
Kepler. ¿Te ha aparecido antes dos
me
veces?
ha aparecido antes, sí, sí.
¿Es el mismo juego?
Yo creo que sí, Es más, es el mismo tráiler.
Hostia puta, qué feo.
A no ser que pues tenga algo distinto, pero es el mismo tráiler de momento.
I, for one, intend to find out.
Sí, sí.
Es el mismo Tyler.
Ya lo hicieron con el Callisto Protocol, que salió en el evento de Play y en el de Jeff King.
Lo que pasa es que aquí lo tenemos a más alta calidad. Y recortado el Tyler. Esto no ha estado, ¿eh? Esto es nuevo.
¿Cómo vamos?
Esto no había salido, ¿eh?
No, no.
Bene, bene. El perrillo. Bueno, que sea eso.
Hey PC Gaming Show, I'm Derek Bradley, the CEO of A44 Games and creative director of Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. Flintlock is set in a world ruled by old
Sí, le
gods.
están dando mucho
And
bomba a este
so,
juego.
as humanity, you now have the power
El
of
que se
black
va a aparecer en
powder
este
and
evento va a
bombs
ser
and
algún
Flintlock
juego de
rifles
Warhammer, que hay
to
como
finally
10.000.
overthrow the gods.
Buah, pues este es
keep the world
que hemos jugado a mi primo y yo,
You'll
tío.
play as Nor, a
¿Cuál?
Blackstream sapper,
Al Warhammer
one
ese.
of the elite explosives
Hay
experts
como
of the
10, no sé cuál
Coalition
será.
forces.
Bueno, el que está saliendo
Nor
ahora.
herself has a personal vendetta against the gods
¿Cómo se
and
llama?
stopped nothing
¿Cuál?
to
Uno
get
que se
No
llama
sé.
40.
Sí, es
But you won't be
que hay
going it
tantos
alone.
como tú dices,
When Nor
que
brings
para mí son todos
firepower,
Warhammer y
the
ya toma por
fox-like
culo.
companion Enki brings magic to the battlefield. You will have to master a combination of axe combat and gunplay, while your companion Enki uses his magical powers to disrupt enemies. We can't wait to show you more of Flintlock before it's released next year. Head over to our socials for more info, and don't forget to wishlist now on Steam and Epic Game Store. Have a great show.
Coming up next, a mysterious new sci-fi game from 11-Bit Studios, the creators of This War of Mine. Hear all about it in our
Gráficos de
exclusive
juego, este
interview.
no.
We'll also show you what's next for Outriders from Square Enix and People Can Fly.
¿Cómo me han sacado el
Plus,
dinero de los
if you
Warhammer a
look
mí?
back
Cago
on
en
high
todo.
school
Es que
and think,
tener
you
toda la
those
saga
4 years would have
es
been
un
better
dineral,
if I
¿eh?
was fighting literal demons, you're definitely going
ves.
to want to study up on our next world-exclusive independent game inspired by the Persona series. Choke your health potions now because there is so much more
Busca en
PC gaming show
persona.
coming your way. Before we go, the
Con las
folks at
figuritas.
Campus Data Centers have
Mi
a
primo
little
es las pinta, tío,
How
mi
much
primo.
higher is 5G
El Cool Look ya te digo,
current
que es ahí, mi
4G
primo las
networks?
pinta y todo, tío.
Scan this QR
Yo
code
nunca he
and
tenido
answer the
paciencia,
question
tío.
for
Yo solamente
just
sé poner la primera capa que te tengan que tirar toda la tarde, esperar que se seque y poner las demás capas. Yo ahora reviento la figura, tío.
Okay, now back to the PC
No tengo
gaming
paciencia,
show.
tío. Ni pulso. Tío, yo tengo Parkinson en las manos, tío.
Ready to game the system? Meet Mana. You slay. You achieve. You win. So should your bank
You
account.
win.
Because
You win,
your power
Jume.
shouldn't stop when the game does.
¿You win?
Mana
You
is
win
the
or no you
best
win?
streaming rewards debit card where you
¿Cómo?
can earn perks and points
You win
by
or no you
playing
win?
and playing and get rewarded with
You
the
win.
things you actually
I win.
want. Like that
Let's go.
skin you can't wait to show off. Or your next gear upgrade. So why
Mira
go
la
any
de
other
F1.
way?
I
Play
win.
with Mana.
Son 3 pavos, sí. Y están los bosses que vi yo que había bosses por 90 y 150 euros. Que nada más te viene una figura y es el boss.
So I know what you're
Lo tienes que
thinking,
pintar y
and
todo.
the answer is yes. It's time to talk about The Alters, the brand new game from 11-Bit Studios. The Warsaw-based studio made us cry in this war of mine, make difficult choices in the face of climate apocalypse in Frostpunk, and battle encroaching corruption in Children of Morta. The Alters sends us to the deepest, darkest reaches of space, in a survival story that is guaranteed to give you an existential crisis, in a good way. This is a really big moment for this year's show. I can't wait. Let's take a look.
De momento, ningún juego que ha salido en este evento lo he puesto en mi lista de deseos.
¿Y estos gráficos? Joder. Más espacio.
Es una CGI, ¿no? Bueno. Hostia, es él.
Literal.
Así es más fácil de hacer un juego, ¿no? Las caras iguales.
¿Tú? ¿Están todos repetidos?
Lo que se me he dado cuenta es que no hay ningún juego de Unreal Engine 5 que salga este año. Se ve que no es tan fácil desarrollar con ese motor nuevo. Añádelo, no quiero. De Alter, tu alter ego.
Sí. Pero me la puedes ir en pelotas, total, ya sabes lo que tiene el otro, ¿no? ¿Para qué ponerse ropa?
Joining us now to talk about what we just saw all the way from Poland is Tomasz Kasilewicz of 11-Bit Studios. Welcome to the PC Gaming Show, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Okay, there is a lot to unpack there. We got clones, we got this huge wheel. Tell us, what did we just see?
Well, first of all, these
Ya había
guys
dicho,
were not
creo que solo he
exactly
jugado un
clones.
juego español en mi
We
vida.
saw Jan, our main character,
Yo he jugado uno español que me acuerdo que era el Speckled Dogs, ¿no? Speckled Dogs the Line o algo así. Sí, Speckled Dogs the Line.
¿El Imperium no es español?
Sí.
So
Ah,
what's
pues
the
mira,
player's
Imperium.
goal as
Donde
they're
lo juego.
progressing
Son
through the
dos.
story?
So you are a space builder stranded on this distant planet, and your goal is to survive and find a way back home. But the thing is, in order to do so, you need to create those altars, as each one of them have
Pues en mi caso,
different
lo que
set
juego
of
más
skills
son juegos de
and
Japón
character
y de
traits.
Estados Unidos.
So these are things necessary for your survival and finding a way back home.
So from the trailer, tonally this could be a horror, a thriller, a mystery. What should players expect?
Actually, there are bits of everything you mentioned. Like, there is this mystery as we're looking deep into the soul of the character, but what you find there can also be pretty scary. So there are those beats of
No sé cuánto dura esta
psychological
conferencia,
horror and drama.
pero
But
mucha charla
then
está
on top
viendo.
of it, we have this quite thick layer of surreality. I mean, how
ya
surreal would it be
buscarlo.
to one day, you know, wake up next to a little different alternative version of your very self?
Now, there's a quote that you shared with me earlier, that man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. How does this quote relate to the story?
So this quote, it relates directly to the main theme of our game. We as people, we are shaping ourselves every
Pues no sé
single
cuánto
day
dura.
with every single decision that we are
No, no,
making. This process, the whole process of becoming who
Pero ahora
we
imagínate
are
que, por ejemplo, esta
can
noche
be
hubiese
quite
una
painful
conferencia de
at
Sony y
times.
mañana de Nintendo,
But
sería increíble.
in our game,
Mira que esta noche es la de
Jan, the
Sony,
main
¿no?
character, he has
¿Eh?
this
Esta noche es la de
unique
Sony, ¿no?
possibility of
No,
not only
Sony no
shaping
está.
himself, but also
Joder, si
reshaping
estuviese la de Sony
himself
estaría
numerous times
saltando.
with every single altar that
No,
he is
Sony se
creating.
supone que es septiembre.
This is
Y
more
a lo
of
mejor
a
ahí
classic sci-fi
muestran el
story,
God of War a
something
final
like
de
a Ray
mes.
Bradbury work, or is it something more
Eso es lo
contemporary?
que se comenta.
Well, it is very classic sci-fi in a way that we are taking a relatable topic and we are using the sci-fi theme, we are using the sci-fi setting to look at it through the magnifying lenses. But then when we're choosing the tools, this is a very contemporary game and we're taking advantage of what video games are as a medium. So we're using tools like systematic design and non-linearity in order to put the players in the middle of the experience and in the end allow them to create their own stories inside the game.
I wanted to ask a little bit about the relationship of your previous titles to the altars, whether there's any narrative or themes or even just influence that those games had on this one?
Well, The Alters is purely 100% our game, 11-bit Studios game, and it's created in line with our meaningful entertainment philosophy. So it's a game we hope that it will make you think even after you stop playing it. This War of Mine was this first huge milestone. It paved the way for all the future
antiguos ahora
titles.
no
And
sé
with
qué
Frostpunk, it was
No,
taken
un poco
to
la
another
compañía,
level
ese recorrido de la
with the
compañía.
strong focus on the
Ya, pero,
emergent
joder,
narrative.
esto para otra
And
cosa,
now with the
ocasión.
Alters, we want to follow that path.
Tú quieres ritmo de
But
conferencia.
we also really want to
Hombre,
push the
claro.
boundaries even
Por
further
cierto, lo de
and
que Riot
expand on
entra en
how
el
we
Game Pass
approach
es una
meaningful
locura,
topics
Ya, ya.
inside the
Es que
design
busca
of our
cuánto cuesta
games.
tener todos los campeones del LoL.
Thanks so much again to
700 euros
Tomasz
he
and the
visto.
whole team at
Y
Walker
está en el
Studios for
Game Pass.
joining us this
¿Qué
year.
cojones?
And while I try to find enough Rapidium to make
Pero
it
Microsoft tiene el dinero infinito.
Sí, sí.
¿Cuánto debe costar eso? Es que debe ser millones y millones.
Tú dirás.
Honestly, I need to look into getting
No quiero ni
myself
pensarlo.
cloned so I can make time to play all of these awesome games.
Tío, con el
we've
cuadro
seen
de
so far.
Half-Life ahí al fondo, qué
But
grande.
I'm also like legitimately worried about having
Yeah,
to
Quake,
eventually
sí.
fight my clone in single hand-to-hand combat when they steal my life, making me wonder if I was the clone all along. Is it really worth it? For video games? Yeah, no, it's totally worth it for video games. Anyway, that's a problem for future Mika. Present Mika is much more interested in what you all have been saying about the show so far. So keep letting us know your thoughts by using hashtag PC Gaming Show on all platforms. Now, let's get back to the real reason all here. Cloning. I mean video games. Video games.
Sí, te
Es una
jodas.
broma. Ha hecho clonar.
¿Destiny es esto?
No creo que esté aquí,
Joder.
Debe ser una copia.
Bueno, Destiny no es, pero... Le da un aire,
Sí, el estilo. Bueno, claro, ahora Destiny... Bueno, Destiny no, pero... Bungie es de Sony. Race for Impact. Ah, en la expansión de Outrider. ¿Te acuerdas que tiene esto Early Access? ¡Qué asco una expansión con Early Access!
Sí, tío.
¡Qué cosa más cutre! Encima en grande, para que te acuerdes.
Hostia, tenías que aburrir para jugar esto,
Como la carrera hoy de F1, ¿no?
Madre mía.
Yo la he visto en diferido y menos mal, porque en las últimas 30 vueltas, vaya puta mierda. ¿Tú lo has visto en directo?
No. ¿Ah, la carrera?
Sí.
Sí, me he dormido. No he visto las últimas 20. Te lo juro, tío.
Yo es que la he visto en diferido y las últimas 30 vueltas me las he pasado.
Ya, nada, me he dormido, me he
lets you
dormido.
open your own medieval potion shop. You get hailed as a master alchemist. But when I do it, I get a sternly worded letter from my landlord about how my
O sea, cuando me desperté estaba haciendo ya la
violates our
entrevista a
lease
Verstappen en el podium,
agreement.
¿sabes?
Whatever, it's his loss. But more importantly, folks, we
No te has
promise
perdido
the
nada.
maximum
Ya lo sé, ya lo he visto.
humanly possible, and we aim to deliver quite literally.
Mira, Juve, ¿qué haces ahí, tú?
Hombre,
Este es el Juve jugando al Fórmula 1.
esta es mi exclusiva. Llevo trabajando 3 años y medio en esto.
Vaya fumadas se pegan, tío, la peña, tío.
Me esperaba más de este showcase,
Oh, Dios mío.
¿Hay posibilidad de que no salga el juego de los de Blizzard?
La han anunciado ellos, que salen. Me ha sacado unos juegos, tío, que... ¿Alguien juega esto?
Si lo hacen, será que sí.
De verdad, me lo pienso que... Ah, ¿se puede jugar a la demo gratis? No tengo ganas. Bueno, combate por turnos. Primo, te llaman, ¿eh? Hostia, pues bueno, veas.
Buah, ahora que sale el Persona 5 en PC, es el mejor juego de turno de la lista.
¿Y esto qué es? ¿Eres japonés o qué? Hostia, primo, estos son los que te molan a ti, ¿eh?
¿Tú has jugado alguna vez al Crusader Kings?
No, pero sé cuál es, he visto muchos vídeos.
Pues mira, mañana sale el PlayStation Plus y creo que voy a probarlo. Para probar cómo es un juego así. ¿Cómo se dice el juego?
Ni idea.
Planet Earth.
Bajo Kenshi.
To protect it, we must reach out to explore the unknown. Our team of experts presently
Es el nombre más comercial, para acordarte.
Tiro al terror, ya empezamos, tío. Ya pues se me hace con el fuego, Bobetón.
We surge forward, obliterating the enemies of progress, but we refuse to let these victories go to our heads. We are the future. We are Ozine.
Vaya fumada, tío.
And now it's time to give you an exclusive briefing on what's next for one of PC gaming's titans of modding, simulation, and scale, Arma 4. Last month, developer Bohemia Interactive kicked things off by releasing Arma Reforger on Steam in early access.
Este juego se tiene que ver.
Esto es una locura visual.
Esto es una locura de locos.
De este juego salió un mod que es este, de DayZ.
Correcto.
Y yo conozco DayZ porque a veces juega yo juego.
To help us peer into the future for this project, we've got none other than Bohemia Interactive. Thank you so much for joining us. So as of right now, Arma Reforger has been out for about a month. What is it that you've been learning or seeing from players?
At first, we've learned that players
like
Reforger a lot and they appreciate the work. We also realized they like modding a lot and they really view this as a key quality of our games. And we are very pleased by the reactions of both our community and the new players who immediately started flooding internet with videos, playthroughs, and praise of our new technology. So we are very glad the reception was so good.
So there's no doubt
Tampoco
players
tan
have been
distinto al Gran
long-time
Turismo
fans
7,
of the franchise
Play
stepping
5.
into Arma Reforger, and I'm curious, what were some of the big
Se ve mejor,
challenges of rebuilding that specific Arma feel from the ground up in this brand new engine?
Well, it's a very tricky subject because even internally it's an ongoing kind of fight. So I myself
very much on
the very purist side of things. So no HUD, no save games, no superficial helpers, and this fight can get very intense even in-house. So I'm the real Arma purist, and I'm on this for 25 years now, so I will keep fighting, but obviously this is part of the fun. So there's always never-ending battle. I think 2 years ago we really struggled to keep it Arma and even internally preserve our own standards. So do it our own way rather than replicating what's maybe normal in other games, because our goal is not to make the same game as all other games. So our goal is to remain unique.
I'm curious if you can speak to what the main goals of Reforger is, because it's a little unusual compared to other releases. I mean, for instance, how much content should a player expect if, say, they've been playing Arma 3 for years?
Our goals were, of course, to restart the series from technological standpoint, really make room for some new achievements, utilize the technology both in terms of how it looks like, how it's controlled, how it can be modded.
It's important to understand
Intenta ser super simulador,
kind of normal game on the surface, but there's a big system behind it. So just the tool suite is a massive tool suite, never tested by a large public. So it's a premiere of a tool suite, and these tools are being built for nearly 5 years now. So we really need users to start using them to keep improving and continue building it.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have one quick question from the Arma fans. Has Russia's invasion of Ukraine impacted your approach to Arma 4 and Arma Reforger?
Toma pregunta delicada, nen.
Well,
¿Qué ha dicho?
because it's extremely close to
¿Cómo,
us.
bueno, más o menos cómo afectará al Arma 4 el conflicto bélico entre Rusia y Ucrania?
Very nearby, so definitely. On the other hand, we started work on this many years ago, so the direction.
Que se le preguntan a los de
before,
Stalker que son de Ucrania, que para el desarrollo, evidentemente, varios meses.
With a great level of respect. We're still at the beginning, but we definitely would like to continue in our exploring this serious theme.
Arma, as I see it, has always been a bit more of an anti-war game. It's an entertainment product. That's fair thing to admit. On the other hand, given the topic, given our, let's say, maturity and long time we've spent on it, and our ambition to portray it as a whole very complex and gritty thing, I would like us to contribute by not just entertaining people, but also educating them on the subject. This was the whole point of starting the cooperation with the International Committee of the Red Cross, and I believe we have great potential, big responsibility in this era, and a very important chance to contribute at least a little bit to the good side of things.
This would not be an interview about Arma unless we were asking about modding. I mean, so many amazing games and genres came from Arma mods, so I gotta know what's possible in Reforger that wasn't possible in the past.
Now with this technology, it's possible to create entirely different things, like entirely different games. It has so many variables, but the beauty now is that much more of it is user accessible, unlike the previous games. So people can easily digest how this is constructed in our workbench.
¿Cómo se desarrolla el juego?
Like previously, where it was more hard-coded in the C++ engine. So now they can check the data of every single element of the game and go much deeper than in previous games. So this will be super exciting.
Now, I wanted to ask a little bit about
Yo lo que haría es,
because
si
anyone
vas a
who's
mostrar
played
el juego, lo
Arma
muestras en
knows
2-3
that it can get
minutos y
really
luego
challenging to get a
en
good
tus
frame rate
redes
in those
sociales muestras
massive
en
multiplayer
profundidad todo.
matches. So,
Claro.
I'm curious,
Pierde
what
rima la
expectations
conferencia.
should players have about performance leading into Arma 4?
Arma 3 was built on foundations laid down in times of single core and no GPUs basically, so this time much more computations and intensive rendering things can be done directly on GPU, but it required completely a new approach.
Again, we are in the beginning and we know that there are problems, there are difficulties, but we are solving them one by one. We are really gathering community feedback and even our own.
A lo mejor acaban con el
feedback,
Stormgate,
so we are moving
esta
things
conferencia.
forward.
Puede ser.
And yeah, it's about optimization. It's not that much about FPS, but also for like network.
¿Tú crees que se viene
for
gameplay?
instance, when you have this
No, no creo,
game,
Es que quizás van a aclarar un poco lo de la tercera raza, pero poca cosa más. Yo creo que el juego tiene muy poco hecho.
O sea, solo va a venir a
Thank you so
hablar.
much again, Bohemia
Creo que sí,
Interactive,
no
for
creo que
giving
vaya
us the
mucho.
inside scoop on both
Que la
Arma
sensación que
Reforger
dieron la
and
otra vez
Arma
es que no
4.
tenían casi nada del
Now,
juego hecho.
You don't go anywhere because here is what's around the corner.
Just around the corner in the PC gaming show,
A
prepare
ver,
to
¿qué se viene
experience
ahora?
terror ranging from the subaqueous to the
Publicidad.
subconscious with the latest from Shiro Games.
Ah, no,
Hold on to your
es-
butts because front-end development sped no
Otro
expense
DLC
on
esto,
the new
tío.
Jurassic
Madre
World
mía, tío.
Evolution 2 expansion.
Jurassic
and
World.
get your crowbars
Otro
ready
juego que
for
vale
Half-Life
300 euros,
Alyx Levitation, a special project
Un highlight
from
para
very
gafas
talented
virtuales. Pero
modders.
qué mierda es
Modders,
esta, por
what
favor,
would
Nos vamos
PC gaming be
centrando.
without you?
No, pero este
While
juego es
here,
el mejor juego de realidad virtual de la
geography
historia.
question.
Salió hace 2 años.
Which
Yo
parts
lo
of
quiero
the
para
world
VR
use
2
the
de
most
Play.
bandwidth for
Yo
gaming?
creo que lo van a sacar.
Answer this question
Pero
for
esto
the
es
folks
publicidad.
at Compass Data Centers, and it could win you a $500 Razer gift card. Scan the QR
Mucha gente
code
el
on
mejor
the
juego de
screen to
2020, el
enter.
Half-Life es.
Last year, Shiro Games debuted War Tales at the PC Gaming Show, but the publisher has a lot more than its medieval sandbox RPG on the way. Up next, we'll hear what's up with Shiro's slate of projects, and stick around for the debut of 2 completely new games, Decarnation and Abyssals.
Hey everyone, thank you very much for the invitation, Mika.
Vamos a
I'm
hacer juegos
James,
nuevos.
and I can't wait to show you everything that we've got prepared for you today. So it's been a crazy couple of months for everyone here at Shiro Games, with Dune Spice Wars marking the most successful release in the history of the company, and it's entirely thanks to all of you. But today, let's look at Dune Spice Wars multiplayer mode. Up to 4 players can go head-to-head and free-for-all, 2v2, all work together in co-op against AI opponents. We're introducing new synergy systems between factions that will open a vast number of strategies to help you crush your opponents. Multiplayer will be available in Dune Spice Wars very soon. After 5 years and nearly 3 million units sold, Northgard's story finally continues. In a new chapter set shortly after the events of the first campaign, Ragnarok has decimated the lands of Northgard. Long-standing alliances have been broken. Violence and betrayal now plague the continent. Forced to depart what they once called home, our heroes arrive on unknown shores and find themselves confronted
Mucho
by
texto
unfamiliar
yo
faces
que
in a
venía solo por
dangerous
el
new
Stone
realm.
Gate.
Pues capaz de demostrarlo
This Northgard
lo
expansion
penúltimo. Lo
arrives
Es
this
literal,
winter. And for all of our War Tales players out there, Cooperative is finally
Ya,
coming
el
to our
otro juego.
open world tactical RPG. You share food, gold, and camp with your friends.
Eso está guapo.
But you can split up to cover more grounds.
Con
Before
cámara
every fight,
desde
devise the
esta
perfect
perspectiva.
strategy to overcome any
Hostia,
threats that
me
may
mola,
stand in
sí.
your way. But be careful in your approach, as one wrong move may lead to your group's demise. The co-op
Vaya,
update
bimba
will
la
allow
pegado,
you to
como
play
la
between
deja
2 to 4 players, and it will be available this summer.
Hostia, ayer me reservé el The Last of Us 1.
So a few months ago we announced Shiro
No me lo
Unlimited,
imaginaba.
a new publishing label created by indies
No,
for
yo no
indies.
quería,
We
pero
are very
dije,
proud to
venga,
announce
vamos.
2
Yo no
new titles
quería.
coming from the Shiro Unlimited family.
No, no, porque escandaloso el precio.
It seemed like our last chance to start again.
Joder con el espacio, lo estoy aborreciendo y no juega ni uno,
Devastation.
We used our limited resources to lay the foundations of a new life deep below the waves of this strange new planet.
But soon, we realized it was not the dream world we had hoped for.
When faced against the darkness of the abyss, we found ourselves helpless.
Lost.
Isolated.
Coño.
Abyssals.
¿Pero cuántas cosas van a sacar esta gente?
¿El tercer juego?
Sí, tío.
Joder, un poco de caramba, ¿no? Sí, sí, se llama Shiro Unlimited. No tienen límite.
No lo mejor dicho. Miedo y espacio, Las dos cosas que van a salir más estos próximos años.
Parece Jabo, ¿no? Gráficamente.
Tiene una pinta de fumada gorda,
Incarnation.
Oh, muy bien.
Thank you very much for sticking with
Es
us.
un nombre de juego que
everyone.
no,
Enjoy the rest of the
no me
show.
creo que en ningún juego antes se haya llamado así. Pues han mostrado 3 juegos con la cara.
Sí, sí.
You just saw
De
why
los cuales no voy
you
a jugar
were
a ninguno.
exactly right to be afraid of the ocean in Abyssals. And you confronted your inner demons in the retro dream horror of Decarnation. Next up, how do you rebuild a city in a world set after the collapse of civilization? Let's find out how by taking a look at I Am Future from Tiny Build.
Ojo.
Warning. Hibernation aborted. Your total hibernation time was 6 years, 6 months, 5 days. Welcome to Eden, your new home.
I have no idea where the hell I am. But damn, this place is gorgeous.
Madre, qué fumadas.
No me está gustando esta conferencia,
Toma.
¿Qué?
Hostias, eso no me lo esperaba.
Soy el futuro. I'm the future.
Our forefathers conquered Caldaria.
Ahí va.
And bestowed it upon us, a new generation.
Este es el juego, el típico juego de PC, ¿no? El juego de PC.
Our great houses seek to obtain the Emperor's favor, cultivating our lands and subjects to improve and enrich the
Me pinta de ser como el Patrician, tío. Joder, esto es complicado de entender. Con miles de cosas, tío, para que te vaya todo bien.
As well as delicacy.
Will you be able to build your legacy of power?
Join the great houses of Caldaria.
And now, for these next trailers, it's true. They do move in herds. That was so much. The thought process is simple.
La chica chistes,
dinosaurs, God destroys dinosaurs, man destroys God. Man creates video games to play with dinosaurs. But just be warned that one of these trailers might come as a bit of a shock to the system.
Es Mbappé, chica. Pero de verdad. Fuera compras, comprarte todos los DLC de este juego, se te va a 150 o 200 euros,
Poco me parece. Qué pereza de juego.
PC Gamer. Humans.
¿Qué pone que sale pasado mañana ese juego?
Sí.
Bueno,
el DLC.
Entertainment. The very notion disgusts me.
Look upon my works, foul creatures.
And weep at its magnificence.
Fumada tras fumada, A ver quién gana.
It is a
Ahí va. Vaya cambio, ¿no?
Vaya cambio.
Hostia, vaya gráficos, ¿no? ¿Pero esto qué es?
Look at you, hacker.
Hostia, hostia, hostia.
Creature of meat and bone.
How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine?
You are an insect. You are nothing. I create.
Madre mía, para tomarte un trippy ahora, ¿sabes? Los putos, Te escucha, casi el 65% de los juegos nuevos se basan en el espacio, tío. Y en el futuro, tío. Lo veo exageradísimo. ¿Todo el mundo ha pensado lo mismo o qué?
Sí. Bueno, en el equipo no ha habido tantos, pero sí, igualmente. No. Bueno, es que Starfield cuenta por 20.
Vaya locura, tío. Y otro 30% de terror.
System Shock. Ah, esto es una saga conocida. Debe ser un reboot.
What an incredible and frankly horrifying trailer. Developed by Night Dive Studio, System Shock is the return of a beloved, acclaimed sci-fi saga. Today, to take us even further inside the world of System Shock, I am thrilled to welcome the one and only
Retorno de una
Warren
saga
Spector. Thanks so much for joining us, Warren.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is going to be fun.
In terms of trying to translate the experience of a game from 1994, 3 decades later to now, what doesn't carry over well?
The first thing is the graphics, obviously. We did the best we could, but it was pretty primitive back then. And the other one is the user interface. If you look
Hostia, lo produjo en el año que yo nací, tío. Vaya tela, tío.
A help screen that came up.
Mira, el año de mi nacimiento.
Toda una vida.
It's just insane. I don't know how the guys at Night Dive did it. It's amazing. But frankly, as I think back on it, the game
es más viejo el juego que yo,
actually
tío.
holds up pretty well. I'm excited to see it come back.
Just wondering if you think many modern gamers are aware of the impact that System Shock has had in terms of gameplay systems, in terms of narrative structure, on so many games that came after it.
I'm not sure people see the influence, which is a little unfortunate. But I think the rest of the world is going to get the chance now to experience it, and I think they'll see not just that they're having fun playing this game, but also see that other games followed in its footsteps.
Nowadays, we walk around with computers in our pockets. We're worried about the evil of algorithms. How do you think about a character like Shodan in 2022?
Shodan seems far too close to reality to me right now. And let's just hope that she doesn't show up as nasty a form as she did back in 1994.
Well, Warren, I wanted to thank you so much for joining us. And I want to let you know I cannot wait to return back to that world I played and enjoyed so much as a kid. Cheers.
Hey, I can't wait to return to that world. I've forgotten
Right?
basically.
Right?
Fans know way more about the game than I do now, so it'll be a new experience for me too.
Thank you so much again, Warren Spector, for joining us to talk all things System Shock. I personally can't wait for the game to come out, though. It might completely ruin my sleep schedule, but before I spiral further, here are some more games.
Vamos a por otro.
Venga, ritmo, ritmo.
Pioneers changed the harshest aspects of our world. Every
Otro del espacio, no, por favor. Hostia puta, tío. Es que esto es un chiste, tío.
Solo falta que God of War haya naves. No me esperes en eso.
Es que qué exageración, tío.
Bueno, si en mi lista de deseos tengo algún juego de naves o de espacio, pero lo tengo aquí apuntado.
Any victory achieved through that deepest expression of human unreason would be as devastating as defeat. We have but
A ver, que los gráficos están brutales, pero es que son todos los juegos del espacio, tío.
for all mankind.
3.
War between Mars and Titan devastated.
Tengo una lista de deseos de unos 30
Lead the
juegos
survivors
solo
to
de espacio.
Demaret, where you will continue Falling Frontiers storyline.
Que yo de momento me quedo, te lo juro, me quedo con el...
¿El arma?
Ni eso. Que me quedo con el Cal. Y es tristísimo que me quede con el Cal, ¿eh? O sea, con el Cal, con el de los samuráis que se después de Nioh.
Ah, vale, dices de toda la semana.
Sí, sí.
Yo me quedo, bueno, si cuentan el State of Play de hace 2 semanas, digo el Final Fantasy.
Es que, sí, a la vez yo pienso como tú. En este caso, no sé si es bueno que todo se base en lo mismo. Es que, te lo juro, el 65% de los juegos que están saliendo son del espacio. No lo entiendo. Ah, y a mí que no me llama la atención nada es en plan, joder, es que vaya, nos esperan 3 años de decir, voy a jugar al Cal como nuevo al Fórmula 1, voy a seguir jugando lo mismo, básicamente.
Yo entre todo lo que tengo pendiente y lo que sale estoy contento. Lo que, claro, esta conferencia me está poniendo un poco
All right, gamers, good work. You've made it here to a site of grace, or a bonfire, or a sculptor's idol, or a lamp. Make sure you're staying hydrated, replenish your potions, and most importantly, keep letting us know what games you're excited about using hashtag PC.
Y este que me está poniendo nervioso este pibe.
Personally, I can't wait to play the altars. Good. Now that we're all rested up, feeling good, it's time to enjoy a slice of that lovely cyberpunk courtesy of Nivalis and experience the investigative horror of immortality, the latest from the mind of Sam Barlow.
Monográficos.
We have a short clip here. Do you want to tell us what we're about to see?
Well, I don't want to spoil things too much.
Este es un juego de vídeos, ¿no?
Tiene pinta, ¿no?
Un juego de detectives, imagino.
Sí, tío.
CSI.
Estos juegos me ponen nervioso, así
Por la tensión, por cómo se ven.
por todo. No me gusta nada de ellos.
We can take a break. We should take a break. No, we can go.
Cyberpunk. ¿Tú corriste con el Cyberpunk en su día o no?
¿Sí?
Hey, boss.
¿Te compraste el Cyberpunk en su día?
Got customers waiting. What do you mean you don't know where to
Nunca te
start?
interesó.
Let's clean this place up. Move some
Esto no es
chairs and
Cyberpunk.
tables around. We can make
¿Eh?
this place
Esto no es
shine
Cyberpunk.
again.
Esto es crea tu restaurante en el espacio para seguir la temática, nen.
Bueno, pero está en una ciudad Cyberpunk, por eso te sacado el tema del Cyberpunk.
Me cago en la hostia, tío.
Make enemies. Give customers a route, just turn on the old charm. Or water down their drinks.
Estoy de la temática del espacio hasta las pelotas, familia, os lo juro, ¿eh? Y eso que vengo de StarCraft, que llevo 12 años jugando en el espacio, bueno, y en Pro. O sea...
En 20 minutos tengo carrera en Australia y darme una vuelta en este juego.
En 20 minutos. ¿Qué corre? ¿Su SO?
Sí.
¿La retransmite?
Mejor no.
Eso es, la retransmiten.
Voy a poner tracción media, creo.
Hi, I'm Marco. And I'm Roman. At Ironlands, we
Mientras charla aquí voy a coger agua, tío. Tengo una sed.
But we have our own ideas of what a cyberpunk world can be. This is a game in which you manage your restaurant, bar, or nightclub, take care of your staff, make deals, farm, and experience the stories of the people you meet.
Or maybe you just want to take the day off and go fishing at the docks instead. Nivalis primarily uses voxel art for the environments. We spend lots of time creating a unique atmosphere with high levels of detail and dynamic elements.
We are excited about the cyberpunk world we're making, and we can't wait to see the choices you'll make and how you'll choose to live your life when you come visit us in Nivalis. You can wishlist Nivalis now on Steam and the Epic.
Es necesario, es necesario.
Mana is the
Ya es el
game
pack
rewards debit
completo.
card that puts the power back
Lo
in
raro es
the
que el
hands of
anuncio
players.
tampoco lo pongan en
So
el
with
espacio,
every
¿sabes?
quest
Con
you
la temática del
complete and
espacio.
every purchase you make,
Tarjeta
you'll
virtual
earn for
ahí,
the
¿sabes?
rewards
Con
you
tus naves.
actually want. We make it easy
La
for you to
Virgen,
set
qué
up and start.
exageración.
Just sync your favorite games to your Mana account and start earning real-life rewards the next time you play. So why pay any other way? Pay with Mana. Pay with power. Mana. Game the system.
Get ready to overclock your eyeballs, because this next trailer is coming in hotter than my computer with 3 Chrome tabs open.
Vamos, 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 vamos. Tiene que salir. Su puta madre.
El grande tutorial al final no, ¿eh?
¿Que no? La madre que los parió.
Es broma. Es broma. A ver, si a lo mejor si salen al final es que tienen algo que mostrar, ¿no?
Seguramente. Tengamos fe. Estamos todos aquí pendientes y expectantes, familia? Nunca mejor dicho.
Que el equipo ha sido tan tocha que luego viniera esto. Es otra liga.
No sé si no me viendo el Kojima. Que es en plan, estamos haciendo un juego. ¿Pero qué juego? Ah, sorpresa.
Sí, es increíble, Hola.
Hola chicos, confirmamos que juego, Venga, nos vemos dentro de 5 años.
And check to see that your door is properly painted with sacrificial lamb's blood, because things are about to get certifiably terrifying. Let's look at the H.R. Giger-inspired biopunk horror, Scorn.
Desolate and decayed.
Ojo.
A grisly nightmare of macabre perception.
Estoy viendo un juego a la nube que es el que también está haciendo otro
I'm your
con la
host,
Play, seguro.
Doug Bradley. And I
¿Este es el
invite you to
Scorn?
join me
¿Qué salió antes?
as we
Creo que sí, ¿no?
explore Scorn's
Sí, ese es Scorn.
mesmerizing labyrinth
Sí, esa,
of
es
odd
inconfundible.
forms and somber tapestries. You awake.
Qué mal rollo da este
in the
juego.
middle
Pero mucho,
of a
tío.
desolate hellscape, filled with biomechanical contraptions, part flesh, part machine. An industrial civilization, now lying in decay and ruin. A hidden fauna sleeps within the underbelly of the world, wanting nothing more than to be left undisturbed. Scorn has been carefully crafted with great attention to detail. Everything is focused on building a specific atmosphere. From a unique organic ecosystem to an unsettling soundscape created by ether.
Wow.
Da una grima esto.
Dios.
Scorn has no dialogue, so most of the storytelling comes from the environment.
Mira que a mí me gusta un poco el gore, pero es que es un tipo de que no me...
No, que tienes que venir aquí a cenar para jugar, ¿sabes?
Sí, sí.
While there is shooting within the game, Scorn
Hostia, qué balas más raras.
Esto es para llorar. Ah, no.
Every encounter must be carefully considered. A wrong choice could be deadly.
Este creo que era Game Pass.
I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the twisted world of Scorn. The team at Ebb Software can't wait for you to uncover the secrets of this unique world.
Qué bonito.
As you experience Scorn firsthand this October. Are you prepared to unravel your inner self within Scorn's world?
¿Esto qué es mierda?
Venga, ahí sabes, ¿no?
Bueno. ¿Mes? Octubre. Sí. No sale en Play.
Now, while I've been delightedly playing Dune Spice Wars, harvesting melange, and trying
No
to figure
voy a
out how
ver
to
por eso.
pronounce Quisatz Haderach, it doesn't matter. I'm equally ready to turn hordes of Tyranids into a Jackson Pollock painting.
De
in
momento,
Warhammer 40K
ni un
Space
juego,
Marine
tío.
2. In this brutal
Ojo,
third-person
Warhammer,
shooter,
mira.
we once again step into the oversized power
Vamos.
of Titus, an elite primal
sí,
space
o es
marine
otro
in a
que te
galaxy
interesa.
immersed in a never-ending war. To take us further inside the grim
Creo
dark,
que
I
hay
am
como
joined
3 o
by
4
Tim
Warhammers
Willis
en
and
desarrollo.
Oliver Hollis, the creative director, on Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2.
Space
First of all,
Marine.
thank you so
Ese
much for
tío es el
joining
más
us.
tocho,
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Now, Tim, I want to start with you.
Oh,
You
no te acuerdas
previously
del
worked
nombre, ¿no?
at id Software on Doom. How would you say the Space Marine compares to Doom Guy?
That is a good question. I bet many people did not know that the original Doom Guy was actually a Space Marine, inspired by an even older Space Marine, which is the Warhammer 40,000 Space
Hostia.
Marine. So, you know, it's really exciting
curioso.
for me to work on Space Marine 2, you know, because it's a great franchise, and I know that it's inspired so many other video games throughout the last 25, 30 years.
Oh, absolutely. And there's so much lore to sift through. And I think this brings us to talk a little bit about the new Space Marine that you're going to get to play, a Primaris Space Marine. Oliver, talk to us a little bit about Captain Titus and what makes this class of Space Marine different from the others in the universe.
So the Space Marine is a brainchild of the Emperor, the kind of leader of this of humanity in the grimdark future. He saw the dangers that the universe presented, and he created a super soldier from his own DNA. And each of these different factions, these different chapters, have different genetic traits of the Emperor. But what makes the Primaris different is that a guy named Belisarius Cawl, the Emperor's kind of chief scientist, went back, did some digging in the old data, and found a way to enhance the qualities that a Space Marine has by installing new devices, new kind of bio implants in their body. So now these guys are 2.5 meter tall monsters capable of destroying anything in their path.
It's reminding me of the 1,000 times I have rewatched the Astartes animation.
It's amazing.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting that we now get to be in that position to play that kind of character. And in the trailer, we saw a lot of Tyranids. Are they the main enemy that you're going to be against? And if so, what makes them such a compelling foe?
In this particular game, the Tyranids are the main focus, and what makes them compelling is that they are extragalactic locust-like creatures. They've come in from goodness knows where, they spread like wildfire, they devour everything in their path, and they leave nothing in their wake.
So one of the great things about the Tyranids is they come in the thousands, and our proprietary engine, the Saber Swarm engine, can deliver battles. Now we will have thousands of Tyranids, and you will rip and tear through them all.
I mean, that is so thrilling, because this is the sort of thing that older games couldn't even hope to do. And you're talking a little bit about combat. I know that some of the previous entries were more melee focused. What's the combat like in Space Marine 2?
So the combat in Space Marine 2 is a mix of in-your-face melee combat along with some really cool over-the-top weapons. So we looked at the original Space Marine game where it had a lot of this push-forward combat, which has inspired many other video games, but that never stop, never take cover combat is integral to Space Marine 2, along with these really cool, powerful weapons. So you're either tearing up enemies in front of you, or you're blowing them away from the back of the battlefield. It's the best of both worlds.
I mean, that sounds so terrific. And I mean, I know you guys are huge fans of the 40K lore, so I'm curious about, in working on this project, what's been the most fun seeing come together? I mean, what's Saber Interactive focusing on right now?
Right at the beginning of the project, Tim and I went to the Warhammer Museum, which was an incredible experience. And you go around all these cabinets where these incredible miniatures that have been painted by these masters are arranged in these dioramas. You find yourself kind of crouching down and looking into the ranks of Space Marines that are facing Tyranids or Orcs or whatever. And something that Tim and I said at that moment was, we need to make this come alive. I don't want to look at this, I want to be inside this. I want to be gunning down Tyranids by the thousands. And so seeing that actually happen and come alive has been thrilling.
Am I going to feel like the characters in the Astartes animation? Because if so, then I'm buying the game immediately.
Even more so, when you're wielding one of those massive weapons and you're faced with 1,000 Tyranids who all want to eat you alive, and you're just letting rip and you can see shell casings bursting out of these massive weapons one after another. The sound, the gameplay, the way it feels is all designed to make you feel like the most powerful warrior in the universe.
Well, perfect. That answers everything. Thank you so much, Tim and Oliver, from joining us. I can't wait. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S.
¿A ti te ha gustado esta parte?
Now next, we have a few more surprises for you up the sleeves of our proverbial power armor. First, Replicant D6's homage to the golden days, or should I say, golden eyes of 90s console shooters, and an atmospheric sci-fi adventure on the Red Planet from Frontier Developments and Kyoken Interactive. Let's take a look.
Tiene más años que yo,
Esto a lo mejor dura 2 horas, acabas 11:30.
Ánimo, Jome.
No, yo me tengo que ir en 10 minutos.
Ya lo sé, ya. Que ánimo, brío, porque no lo vas a ver entero. Toma.
Bueno, mejor porque yo del Stormgate no tengo nada que aportar.
¿Pero juego es así o...? Esto es PS1 fuerte,
Sí,
hostia, ahora ya hemos pensado lo mismo, tú,
¿Qué?
Los dos hemos dicho, esto es un juego de PS1, tú.
Sí, vamos a ver.
Sí, Play 1, esto es Play 1 100%. No, hablado, Borja, tío.
Este es el GoldenEye Agente 74.
Bueno, pero puedes decir que es un GoldenEye, básicamente, de su época. Ojo.
Vemos en Steam.
Sarah,
11:30.
Ryan.
Otra vez un espacio, no puede ser, tío.
This is Kathy.
Dime que esto no es verdad.
Can you hear me?
El Returnal, el GOTY del año pasado.
Mission Opera has
Gracias.
only one objective. Bring the Arcs and their revolutionary
Sí.
technology
Otra vez.
back home.
Madre mía, tío, no me lo puedo creer, tío.
Este es un automa, ¿no?
Pero, ¿de verdad todo se va a avanzar en el espacio los próximos 3 años, tío?
Pero
¿No vas a Sky? No vas a Sky.
tanta coincidencia, ¿eh?
Es que son muy pesados, tío. No jodas, tío. ¿Quién ha sido el puto Illuminati que ha dicho que vamos a hacer todo de espacio, tío?
Se rumorea que el creador de God of War 2 y God of War 2018 está haciendo un juego en el espacio. También.
Oh, venga, y lo que queráis.
No, es que este juego...
Qué asco estoy cogiendo esta temática, yo también, tío. O sea, estoy pillando pero mucha manía, tío. Me está dando rechazo ya simplemente ver cosas del espacio, tío.
Son los nuevos zombies.
Hostia puta,
Hi,
tío.
my name's Elise
Literal,
Stackpole, and I play Kathy Johansson in the out-of-this-world sci-fi epic Deliver Us Mars. Join Kathy and the crew of the Zephyr on an unmissable adventure as they journey to the Red Planet to recover technology vital to the survival of Earth.
Es un juego de los más, ¿no?
Deliver Us
Ponme
Mars is set to land
a
on
Marte.
September 27th
Hostia
and is
puta,
available
tío.
to
No
pre-order
me lo
now
puedo
on
creer, tío.
PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and the Epic Games Store.
Me alegro, guapa.
Stay a while.
Pero luego para ellos también, o sea,
To this list
tiene
of
que ser una
games
mierda,
still to
tío,
come,
porque no
the
me
team
jodas.
behind
O sea,
Half-Life Alyx
el público y al
Levitation
final
will put their most
ese público
where their
elige
mouth
entre
is,
uno y
and
otro.
then
claro, o sea,
it's
es que tienes una
paradox time.
competencia que
Not
flipas,
as
tío. Hay
in
como
us
12
creating
juegos
an actual
prácticamente
time
misma
paradox.
temática
We're going to show
y
you
casi
the
haciendo lo
latest
mismo.
from
No sé, tío.
Victoria 3. Plus, you can literally scare your entire butt off with the creeping horror of Gloomwood. All this and more in just a moment. But first, a final pop quiz for all you Valorant,
tío.
CSGO, and League of Legends players. How much has esports revenue increased since 2016? Compass Data Center
Más
wants
publicidad.
to hear your guess, and you can
Hombre,
scan
hay que
this
pagar el
QR
evento.
code on the screen for a chance to win a $500
Pero bueno, yo me quedo contento
Razer
con
gift
saber que
card.
existe Hollow Knight,
Visit
con lo de la Playtale, con los juegos de los de
gaming.compassdatacenters.com to
Neo.
enter. All right, and now back to the show.
Up next, we're going to take a look at Stormgate,
Ojo!
the highly anticipated real-time strategy
Llegó
game
la
from
hora.
Frost Giant. Then our
A ver qué
resident
muestran.
RTS
A ver qué
guy is
muestran.
going to sit down with some of the
Chicos,
game
es el
developers to
momento.
ask the hard-hitting questions like, when can we play this already?
Van a decir cuánto se puede jugar, ¿eh?
A ver.
Two years ago, our team assembled with a shared vision to build a brand new real-time strategy
¿Por qué
game.
lo mandan los vídeos a
Together,
30 frames?
we've been fortunate to work
Lo
on some
hicieron
of
la
the
otra vez,
greatest
lo hacen
RTS
ahora,
games of
tío.
all time, and now we have a chance to do it again by creating the next evolution of that legacy. Today, we are so excited to share a first glimpse of Stormgate, an exclusive sneak peek into the universe and game that we've been creating for you. Stormgate takes place in an all-new post-apocalyptic setting where science fiction and fantasy collide. Our story begins hundreds of years in Earth's future, following the near extinction of humanity. This great calamity was caused by the Infernal Host, a playable alien race of demonic invaders that are hell-bent on claiming this planet as their own. With our story, we are creating an ever-expanding game universe, told through an ongoing series of campaign missions that you can play solo or cooperatively. New chapters will come out regularly, along with new units, maps, modes, and plenty of other surprises. In addition to campaign missions, we're building a world-class competitive experience with grassroots and professional tournaments accessible from directly within the game. There will be different leagues suitable for all levels of experience. In our new 3-player co-op versus AI mode, you'll level up your heroes, collect rewards, and customize your forces to open up new styles of gameplay and long-term variety.
Están los marines, los links.
Stormgate will be free to play, but not pay to win, and there will be no NFTs. Beta testing starts next year, and you can sign up now to reserve your place in line at
Poco menos decir,
playstore.com.
no habrá NFTs.
Y hasta aquí.
You might happen to know that I'm a huge fan of real-time strategy games. StarCraft is
Bueno,
my favorite
han
game.
dicho que van
I've
a
played it
ir
for 25 years.
expandiéndolo
I
cada
still
vez.
play it.
Está bien.
Está claro que están los Terran, están los Cerri. Están haciendo una tercera raza que han dicho ellos. Así que será algo como los protos parecidos.
Literally my favorite games of all time. And we're here to talk about their brand new, free-to-play, real-time strategy game set
aún
in
están en
post-apocalyptic
pre-alpha,
Earth. It's Stormgate.
Sí, la
And here to
sensación
talk
que me da
about
es que prácticamente
is
están en
CEO
el
and production director at Frost Giant, Tim Morton. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Thank you so much for having me here.
I want to know about the world. I want to know about the game. Tell us, what is Stormgate?
All right, this is our first game as a new studio, and it is classic real-time strategy, but designed to be more social. We build the game in a universe that ties everything together, but provide different kinds of experiences for players who like different kinds of gameplay. So we've got cooperative campaign mode, also play open-ended co-op, but if you're somebody who really enjoys competition, we've got 1 versus 1.
Esta es la imagen, Esta, las mira va bajando, esos son como links y aquí hay un par de marines. Y eso será como la cucaracha, el diablo. O algo así. Va a ser, ya, en mecánicas algunas van a ser muy parecidas, pero en sí va a ser bastante distinto, está claro.
Collecting money, building bases, building units, and so on. And I know that for you, the game feeling really good and really smooth to play is super important. Now, obviously, I come from a time where if the pathfinding is bad, we call that high skill opportunity. But I mean, how do you think about getting the controls, the motions, just the feel of the game to feel good in 2022?
Yeah, it's interesting that RTS is one of the only genres I can think of where you have to have hundreds, even thousands of units synchronized over the network and responsive in a way that high skill, like pro esports players feel good about playing the game. That's not easy. It does require custom technology. There's no engine that you buy off the shelf that does that for you. So we definitely started knowing that and having the benefit of our chief architect, James Anhalt, who did that work previously on StarCraft 2. So we've put a lot of effort into that for sure.
And this is going to be one of the first major RTSs.
Bueno, me tengo que ir,
Venga, joven guapo.
What is it like working in this next generation engine?
Venga, Tito, que vaya bien. Lo veo esta raza, esto que esta es la figura de todo así. Sean como los antiguos y seguro que sean como los protos.
So we're very excited. We're still learning everything that Unreal can do for us, but even that first cinematic that we debuted, like that's done in Unreal. So the high quality graphics that you're seeing are actually coming from Unreal as an engine.
So you've talked a little bit about, for new players, making the game feel a little more approachable, a little bit more streamlined, but obviously, StarCraft, real-time strategy, has this astonishingly long history as a competitive game, as an esport. And I'm curious, how is your team going to approach that?
So a lot of the emphasis around our thinking has been focused on what are things that we can add, especially around the gameplay experience. And one of those things is more seamless integration with esports. I mean, being able to sign up, participate in tournaments directly from the client in a way that gives players, even if you're not like top grandmaster, ready to take on Cyril, there's still an opportunity to be the best on your block or the best at your company or the best at your school. So we want to facilitate esports all the way from grassroots level up to the pro level directly in the client.
So, of course, in the history of RTS games, a really important component of them has always been mods. I mean, Warcraft 3, there's players that didn't even play the original game. They just did custom mode after custom mode. Does Stormgate have modding? How are you thinking about the modding community?
A number of members of the Frost Giant team actually came out of the modding community. The team as a whole is very passionate about it. From the outset, we started out applying resources to build a custom editor. I think there's a lot of opportunity to make improvements to the editing experience for RTS. We are also working on the infrastructure for people to be able to share their mods with each other. So it's really core to us as a team to enable modding, and we're absolutely working on it.
And of course, we have to end with my favorite question of all. When can we play the game and how do we play it, Tim?
So we are going to start our beta in 2023. We already have a site stood up at playstormgate.com to be able to register for the beta. We have a lot of active discussion topics on our subreddit as well, so there's an opportunity to participate in the dialogue around what we're building.
Tim, thank you so much for joining us again today. We just got a chance to talk about Stormgate, the upcoming free-to-play RTS from Frost Giant Studios. I'm personally super pumped to play it, and be sure to check it out at playstormgate.com. Now, Tim, I'm going to do a transition to the next game. Are you ready? This is going to be good. Watch this. It's going to be so sick. Next, we're going to show you Leysara, Summit Kingdom from Quite OK Games. Now, as someone who has spent a medically inadvisable amount of time playing strategy games of all sorts, this looks incredibly up my alley. And it looks a lot safer than my last attempt to create society in the mountains. 2 words to yodeling accident. Let's check it out.
Bueno, no está mal, no está mal. Aparte, le han conseguido meterle ya vídeo a las imágenes que te había mostrado al final de la conferencia antes de ayer. Así que bien, bastante bien. Más de lo que yo esperaba, en el día de hoy. Ahí va, ¿y esto qué? ¡No! Primo, ¿está fallada todavía? No, mira lo que han puesto, tío. ¿Os acordáis del faraón y todos estos, señores? ¡Yes! Bueno, pero qué locura es esta. Tiene esperanza le tengo a esto, aunque dale tiempo, Borja, dale tiempo. Es un juego que es que lo tienen por empezar. Ojo, chaval, Uf, este va a caer, ¿Esto qué es, tío? Qué guapo, ¿no? Ah, que también construyes y todo aquí. Fuera coña, estos juegos me gustan, tío. Hostia, tío, me está molando mucho, tío, porque construyes ahí tu city poquito a poquito y todo. Damn. Qué bonito, tío. En otoño del año que viene.
That was Frozen Flame, an open-world survival RPG from Dreamside Interactive, where you'll embark on a fantasy adventure in a world reshaped by a magical calamity. A cursed land full of environmental hazards and massive monsters doesn't sound like the kind of place you'd want to build a cozy home with your friends, but instead you'll be raising fortresses and trying to tame the world, eventually growing tough enough to tackle the citadel that looms over everything and break the curse. Or you'll end up in the belly of a monster. Still kind of cozy. The demo for Frozen Flame was released just before the show, so you can jump in or grab some co-op buddies and see how long you can survive for right now. And keep an eye out for the early access launch later this year.
A ver qué se viene ahora. Vamos a darle a molicalillo a esto.
If you could listen to the noise of history, then you would hear by the sounds of the Victorian age that the world changed forever. The roar of the engines, the bangs from new factories, and the cries in the streets calling out for revolution. In Victoria 3, we simulate this era, 100 years starting in 1836. And put you in charge of a young society.
Otro de los juegos jodidamente difíciles, nunca lo he entendido, tío. No, lo juro, me lo he jugado, nunca lo he entendido, tío.
They are the beating heart of your nation and form powerful groups with needs and desires. Listen to their calls and let it influence reform, or turn a deaf ear to protect what is proven and stable. Your politics will decide where you want to go, but your economy, how far you'll come. Taxes, production, trade, and construction. Play these cards right, and you can harness the Industrial Revolution to turn your cities into titans. This is the engine you will need on the global stage. Use pacts, threats, and bluffs to secure your place in the sun. Anything done by war can be achieved with diplomacy. But you can decide when push comes to shove. Here you write the stories, and over time, the history of your world will be carved into the map. What will your society be like? What is the sound that will echo over continents and be heard over the noise of time as you create your grand tomorrow?
That was the gameplay debut of Victoria 3 from Paradox Interactive, a grand strategy game coming later this year. And let us take this moment to let you know you can wish us Victoria 3 by visiting the PC Gaming
Bueno,
Show
chicos, hoy ya no jugaré nada, obviamente. Cuando acabe ya la conferencia ya cerraré porque hemos estado 2 horas con la de Microsoft y llevamos prácticamente 2 horas con esta. Entonces ya descansaremos por hoy. Mañana creo que después de comer me echaré un Age y luego a la noche a ver si llego y consigo castear algo de la SR, que estaría bastante bien. La semana pasada me comí un mustio. Madre Dios. Definitivamente me estoy haciéndome viejo para este tipo de juegos, el cerebro ya no me da para adquirir tanta información, ¿sabes? Cuando la cosa va tan rápida. Se ha puesto de moda los juegos de la Play 1 otra vez, ¿o qué? Que se cae. Joder, macho.
What's up, PC gamers? We're back again. Now, what you just saw was everything New Blood's got going on for 2022. A Medieval to Black Labyrinth, Ultra Kill Act 2, Faith, Fallen Aces, and a brand new update for Dusk that's bringing all new HD models and weapons that nobody asked for. So we're doing it anyway. Now, last year you might have noticed we teased a bunch of games here that we weren't ready to talk about just yet. And we're still not ready to talk about those games. But I want to let you know that yes, we're still working on a top-down shooter. Yes, we're still working on a Fallout-style RPG, my dream game. And yes, we're still working on a car combat game. But we're not ready to talk about those games just yet. What I want to talk about is Gloomwood. Now, 2 years ago, y'all straight up forgot to show the Gloomwood trailer. Last year, you bumped me so Gabe Newell could talk about a bunch of demos or some shit. This year, PC Gamer, you promised we would get to show Gloomwood, so I don't want to hear any bullshit. If you're on a Steam Deck ad right now or some shit, I'm gonna...
Steam Deck.
Gracias.
Powerful, portable, PC gaming.
PC Gamer, you see this puppy? I will drown this puppy. I will, if you don't let us show Gloomwood, I am going to drown this adorable, I would never do that. Hi, I love you. So yeah, we good?
Este pavo, ¿dónde lo han sacado? Se saca para algún manicomio, ¿no? Lo han puesto aquí, le han dado 5 euros, han dicho, venga, chaval.
Well, all right. It's about time.
Por Dios.
Hello, Doctor. I had hoped for us to meet at my estate. No matter.
I can guarantee your safe arrival.
Esto era como, ¿cómo se llamaba ese juego, tío?
The townsfolk are not
El Resident Evil, ¿no? Los primeros, tío. Creo que tenías un baiting así donde tenías que irlo moviendo todo para tener espacio. Mira, la mitad de comunidad de la Call of Duty.
There's only one thing I like more than playing New Bloods games, and that's probably the URLs they make for them. It wouldn't be a PC gaming show without the silliest, most ridiculous website names in human history. Which is why I'm delighted to share that next, we have a group of such games that run the gamut from medieval mayhem to an adorable animal fight club. And our first rule, we absolutely plan to talk about it.
Corrupted what? Why is it always doing this just when I need to showcase the game? Okay, I'm gonna take that. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yes, I have.
The update to System 10.1.1 will provide a clean sorting of all your files and ensure that situations like this won't ever happen.
Oh, no, nobody's updating.
Este campeallazo a pantalla blanca me ha jodido la vista de una manera de locos.
Okay, so I do have a backup of the trailer. While I go rummage into the bin for it, please welcome my personal assistant. That will do a great job at pitching the game for you. Talk about how cool I am in the story and how funny and witty. You know, just talk about me. Found it. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, the trailer. Okay, who had the amazing idea to save the trailer backup in 14.4 pixels? Do we have any ants working for us?
The survival of thy noble family depends on their ability to rule the city, to fight with valor, and to learn. Oh, if only it were that easy.
Bueno. Pues nada, uno menos. Hostia, qué guapo, tío. ¿Qué es esto? Oye, fuera coña, tío. Esto puede ser unas risas, tío.
I don't know what you're up to, fuzzball, but back off.
Coño, ¿qué es el teque de las cabras o qué? Bueno.
That was the latest DLC for Core Keeper, the sandbox survival sim from Fireshine Games and Pugstorm. The Sunken Sea biome update is available on June 15th for all Core Keeper players. Now we have even more twists and turns and trailers, so press enter to continue. Did you press it? I'm gonna go ahead and assume you pressed it. No, but seriously, press it.
Life.
La temática medieval también está tirando bastante, Bueno, de renacimiento de todo esto.
There was no hope of it ever improving. When our crops failed, the ruling class would still collect the same share, leaving our children to starve. And if we had any coin to our name, the taxman would appear, demanding it for the crown. The nobles hid behind the safety of their walls and did nothing when raiders pillaged the outskirts of the city. And so, some of us decided that it was time to leave, that we'd rather take our chances in the wilderness, seeking the promise of a new land, than starve to death in our homeland. The journey wasn't easy. We lost many along the way. This wild, unsettled land offers us the hope of a new start as the masters of our own destiny.
La verdad que no me está, en sí no me está llamando mucho esta conferencia, En sí. También con este tipo de juegos se están pasando, Hay unos cuantos ya, sí.
What is below is destined to be understood. Our life depends on the whims of the weather. Our life is tied to this earth.
The water we harvest, the plants we grow, the air we filter. Any waste would be fatal to our survival.
We must learn to live in harmony with this world. For too long, we have wandered without purpose. From now on, our city will be a source of hope.
To understand our world, we must explore it.
We must find the tablets, the seeds of knowledge that bind all the elements together.
To build our survival.
To build our city. To live happily.
Welcome to Icarus, Prospector. The planet we almost lost, then found a reason to stay.
Ya empezamos. A correr.
Take it from me. This place wants you dead. But we've made progress.
¿Eso fue
Learn the lay
experiencia
of
o
the
algo?
land. How to use Icarus to our advantage. Our friends at the UDA
No tiene mala pinta
are
este,
offering up a slice, a whole new terrain. If you learn, build, and survive, maybe, just maybe, there's a future here.
DayZ más avanzado, ¿no?
Think you got what it takes?
O un Rust, ¿no? Digamos un Rust más avanzadete.
In the rich tapestry of the PC gaming community, modders are one of the most inspiring subcultures. In fact, some of the most popular genres today started as PC gaming mods. Right now, modders Sean FMP1 Snelling and Corey Latto are making something incredibly special in the form of an ambitious mod for Half-Life Alyx. It's called Levitation. It's an original 4 to 5 hour campaign that builds on Valve's original VR game, Half-Life Alyx. With Alyx searching for a pair of rebels gone rogue, they've discovered a strange floating building in Sector X and decided to investigate it, against orders, obviously, and now it's your turn. Let's go back to the world of Gordon, G-Man, and Alyx with this exclusive gameplay footage.
Alex, according to this old Resistance map, there's a control room somewhere outside the building you're in. Sorry if that's vague, the map was drawn using somebody's blood.
Buah, esto sí que tiene que meter unos sustacos, tío, con las putas gafas de locos, Oh, qué guapo, cómo recarga, tío.
Alex, I'm detecting an incredibly large energy signature up ahead. It's probably Gordon Freeman, and not anything bad at all. Definitely, probably Gordon Freeman.
Okay, so the plan is to get to that control room and get Gordon.
Oh boy.
Crowded down here, Russ.
te pelan, chaval.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Esta está guapísimo, eh.
Three cells left. Oh boy.
Joder con el Half-Life, tío. Cómo ha cambiado todo, ¿no? Pero está muy guapo, tío, hecho así.
Well, folks, this is the end. We've learned a lot today about ourselves, about computers, about genetically engineered space
se acabó la
marines.
conferencia.
And with so many games on the way,
No
there
sé
has
de
truly
conferencia,
never been a
pues,
better
fuera
time
coña,
to
le
be
han metido
part
caña a esta
of the
gente, al
PC
final,
gaming
tontería.
community.
Over the course of the last 2 hours, we saw games from developers all over the world, and we wanted to thank everyone who tuned in to watch the show. All the developers who shared their work with us, and of course, all of the partners for their help bringing the PC gaming show to life.
Pues chicos,
Indeed, remember to
mañana
tip your
volveremos
servers.
con, más y
Install
mejor,
your
volveremos ya con Edge y a la noche espero poder llegar para poder castear algo de la SL Open Cup. Señores, lo he dicho, gracias a todos por pasado, gracias a todos por el apoyo, por los folletes, y lo he dicho, mañana pues estaremos más por aquí estrellándola. Chicos, que vaya todo muy bien, descansad, señores, chao, chao, buenas noches.
But then you left me with broken parts, and all of these memories are enough to haunt me.